Everything that we do through the mind. The mind is the interpreter. It's the one who relates. It's the one who remembers. It's the one that formulates. So we're so well trained at our day and age today, both men and women, to use the mind instead of sensitivity. So it's like it's easier to find a term for a feeling and call it depression or even anger, instead of going into the sensibility and the sensitivity of why it is depression. Why is also a mental word. Exactly what makes it? What makes you say it's depression? How are you qualifying it? What is the sensitivity involved in this? Where is it coming from? What is the greater picture? And this is affecting us in every single level of reality. So when I ask you to do the alchemical alignment, it is obvious. I mean, beginners always, and I don't mean that you are a beginner in every level. I mean, it's the first course that you're doing with me. In that sense, we'll always go to the mind and do it with the mind, visualize it, and then project into that visualization what they should feel, the description that I give you, that you should feel, without really feeling them or giving yourself time to feel. And this is another point. In our time, it is important to give ourselves time. It is a luxury. We don't give ourselves time to feel. And this is critical, critically important in opening up the inner senses, the inner vision, in connecting with life. Life doesn't think in words. The tree communicates with us in a whole different way, which is not saying it's beautiful and strong and useful. It exists. And we've lost the language other than, I feel good when I embrace a tree. So go embrace a tree and feel, nourished. And you do get nourished. But you can't communicate with the tree. You're communicating with it only for your own good, to feel better. You don't know what it is thinking, what stories it has to tell you. In Buenos Aires is a city that has perhaps the most beautiful trees I've ever seen in parks. They're very well kept and very beautiful and very old trees. And I would often sit under them and say, wow, how many stories can this tree tell me? I'm not the only one to do that. I mean, it's been done. Poets have done it all the ages. But it's a curiosity, really. What has this stone that I found on my way? What story does it have to tell me? And so I hold it and I tune into the frequency of that stone. And it speaks to me, but it doesn't speak to me in concepts. So how to get out of our minds and foster and develop a greater sensitivity? Giving yourself time. Quality time. Opening up to the feelings that have no qualifier to them. When you feel, normally you're looking for something or to name what it is that you're feeling as an emotion. Well, don't look for the qualifier. Feel. For example, the affirmation, I am. We use that a lot in many different schools of thought, and we especially use it with ours. I am that I am. I am. And people, in the beginning, when they hear this, they say, wait a minute. What are you? What comes after am? I am, I have to be something. Amness doesn't make sense to the mind. And yet it does to our sensibility. Amness has a weight to it. And here we have to use words because we communicate in words. So we have to go through the mind. But what is leading me to say that it has a weight is my feeling. Feeling, sensing. And the feelings come directly from the body, as sensingness and sensitivity. But sensitivity also covers the feeling world, which is like orbs. It moves like in a different kind of energy. It's more round emotions. Sensitivity in the body is like pulsing. So how I feel with something, I will qualify it and describe it through words so that I can understand it. We need to give form to these amnesses, to this beingnesses, to this invisible state of tremendous vibration and frequency that envelops us, and that really is our true nature. So we have to give words to it. But let these words come from an appraisal first of what am I feeling in my body and in my emotions. And this takes time. Just train yourself. Make a program for yourself that will be comfortable and will give you time for nothing. And in that nothing, feel. Feel yourself feeling. This is a suggestion I made. I remember when I first made it to the students in Paraguay, I said, feel yourself feeling? What is this? Feel yourself feeling what? Again, the what comes in. Just perceive yourself in a state of sensing. So you're inside how you are feeling. Discover, because that is the language of children, that is the language of trees, that is the language of nature, that is the language of the universe.